let's go into those case studies. So, Thanksgiving meals and memories. So what happened is a couple years ago, our Vice President of Marketing, Mark Irby, wrote this memo to Tim Cox, our creative director, and said basically that he just wanted to initiate a creative concepts project. It wasn't asking for a cookbook, it wasn't asking for anything specific other than create some merchandise that we can sell during Thanksgiving. So then a job was open, just like any other job. This is kind of the work order that we get, you know, it's very basic, just says assigned to creative team 1, and it has our dates. Deliverable packet including graphics direction for application to appropriate products packaging related to the Thanksgiving holiday. So again, just very vague, kind of do whatever. So actually my twin brother was working at Publix at the same time, so we were both working on this project. We hit the road to do some research. You know, that's kind of how we really got into the mode sometimes. And so, you know, for this project, for Thanksgiving, we're trying to think about fall. Remember, we're working on this in like May, April, so there's nothing out there. We had lots of ideas. One of the things we really kept coming back to was a cookbook. So we thought, you know, for Thanksgiving, it's one of the biggest probably cooking holiday of the year. And so we said, it makes perfect sense for Publix. So we really said, all right, let's go back and let's make a cookbook. And so this was just this super rough idea that we threw out there, along with everything else we did. And we just said, okay, let's have a cookbook that's got basic recipes and instructions. And then also we want to have just some ruled pages and have places for your family, your grandma to write, you know, that old recipe, that family favorite, so that you can have it there. So maybe when they're not around anymore, you have you know, those recipes in your family. So the concept generally was approved, and then we had to go to work and really try to make it happen. So what we do and what I do a lot is just sketch and sketch and sketch and sketch. So we just go back, throw a bunch of thumbnails together, start trying to figure out, you know, how this book goes together. You know, kind of had an idea for like just certain tips sections to start off each chapter. You know, and you can see kind of we've explored different kinds of binding. You know, do we do like a 3-ring binder with removable pages? Do we do post bind, or do we do a perfect bound? So we just played with a lot of things. Again, just going through some rough concepts. So that brought us to a year later, and we had about 26 different concepts. I mean, so beyond the sketches, this is the comps that we had, and we had lots of them. We pitched them to our vice president and decided on this concept. So this was, again, this is the concept that we presented. This isn't the finished piece. So, you know, these kind of big chapter intros, main dishes, and then you go into the tips like we talked about, very instructional, and then into the recipes, and into these pages where you would have your family write. And we kind of developed these prompts, you know. So instead of just having a blank page, it would say, my recipe is, it was given to me by, you know, have a place for a picture, instructions, all kinds of stuff. So that was approved, and we made the book. So this is how it came out, and it took a lot of work to make this print right. We are a retail supermarket. We've got to keep prices low as we can, so they wanted this to sell for under $10 a book. So you've got that struggle on the one hand, but we really wanted, of course, a quality piece. So we wanted, you know, blind embossed, foil stamped, a cloth spine, all this stuff. And we had to make it happen for under $10 a book, but we did. And so you can see there that the title is foil stamped, and these stitches are blind embossed. And then here's our how that spread came out. This is just one of them for appetizers. We shot the photography with a great photographer in New York City, Daisha Wright. And then here's the tips. So we had this, again, the illustrations for the tips because we wanted something more instructional. And then handwriting at the top. We wrote every single page. Bottom left corner, you can see the page number. We wrote every single page number and scanned them all in. So here's photography for a recipe. And I mean, everything's hand-drawn. The borders on the top, everything, it's all hand-drawn. Another intro page, and we got these ribbons that you can kind of see in the bottom right to mark your place. And so it was featured in HOW, the 2009 International Design Annual. So that was the one project. Again, it was kind of started this big vague, you know, hey, just give us something. And we saw it through, and it took longer than they anticipated because we wanted to get it printed right. But we made it happen, so it was pretty cool.